What's going on, guys? Bearcat Fishing here, and today we're going to be doing some scanning of brush piles with the GARMIN PANOPTix and some side imaging. Yes, this is a different day because my GoPro's files, something didn't work for the intro. And yeah, let's go see if we can scan some brush piles with the GARMIN PANOPTix and side imaging. So I think one of the best ways to actually find brush piles is to go online and search your local lake to find coordinates on brush piles. The Missouri Department of Conservation usually has a list of brush piles. These ones date back to 2012, and there should be 3 of them around this area. We're going to actually check if they're there still. I mean, 2012, that was 7 years ago. 7 years ago. And we'll see if they have shifted at all. So we're going to drive right up next to this GPS point. I'm trying to do this with 2 hands, and it's impossible. Or 2 hands, one-handed. I've got it set at 120 feet for the graph part. And it looks like we've got one right there. So we're gonna swipe our finger, let that load in, scroll. See, there's a shadow right there. Should be a brush pile there. At the back, should be a brush pile right there if you can see that little squiggly line. Now we're gonna go over that one more time just to make sure. So we're about to head over it again just to see if I missed any more brush piles. It looked like there was 3 supposed to be in the area. That right there is just a bunch of boat exhaust. And oh, there's one right there. Oh, there's a bunch right there. Holy cow. Oh, they look about that. We went directly over it. That's why it's not really on the side. That's basically down view right there. We're gonna drag. We're gonna hit waypoint, back, and we just marked that brush pile. And now let's see if we can find it on the Panoptix. Alright guys, when you're using the GARMIN PANOPTix, you're doing like a sweeping motion with the top of your trolling motor. And you use the arrow to guide you where this is pointing. Now there's a brush pile right there, and there's some little bit of rock and interference right underneath of us. And the only way you can really tell that if it's a brush pile, hold on, rolling back. See how the return lines aren't super dark red? Now that's kind of like a rock pile underneath of us still, and that's why it's such dark red return signals. And turning, and see how it's kind of sparse and shows gaps in between. Usually you can see crappie in this area. Suspended above it are bait fish, and these bass will hide in the deep parts of this brush pile and come out and ambush these bait fish and shad and crappie and whatever else you want to call it. And now that we're getting closer, the return marks are getting stronger and stronger, getting a stronger signal. And it's really hard to film this with one hand and look at the trolling motor with the other. Now we're getting even closer. It's getting bigger, better return signals. And yeah, let's see if we can go take a few casts in this brush pile. All right, so right now it's saying the brush pile is about 30 feet in front of us, directly that way where the arrow is pointing. Make a long cast over it. I'm using a 1/2 ounce wire jig by Fish Hog Tackle. We're going to see if we can just find that brush pile. Now it's about, I don't know, 40 feet out. And I'm in the brush pile now. I can feel the branches pulling back. And I think I'm stuck in the brush pile too. That's nice. All right, out of the brush pile. All right, gotta recast it because I got stuck in the brush pile. Look, a wire guard didn't get stuck, so that's why I didn't get hung up. Or it came out. Now Dad's stuck in the brush pile too. Just a tad bit closer. Now if you look at that compared to, oh, I just moved the camera. That's nice. Gross. All right, back on the camera. If you look at the arrow, it's pointing directly that way. And I'm should be coming through it here anytime soon. Oh, a minute now, like I just said. Now if you have an Ultrax, this is a lot easier. You can just stay in spot and move your arrow around, and then you just get put back in exactly where you were. Well, we're doing it manually. I like to stay 40 to 50 feet away from the brush pile as far as I can without, you know, spooking the fish that are on top of it. This also works great for crappie anglers. If you can get a slip bobber, put it down to right above the brush pile. You don't really want it into it because your minnow will probably swim into the brush pile and get you hung up, or your jig will get snagged in it and you just have to break it off. I recommend suspending your crappie jig about a foot above it. I'm stuck in the, this is a very thick brush pile. I can feel it, it's very spongy. Might be fishing line as well. Get out of there. Right now we're going over some rocks. You can see how round they are and how red they are. The more dense the object, the redder it is. It's pointing over there about, oh, range is 10 to 30 feet. It's a pretty big rock pile. Oh, I'm in the rocks right here. Could feel my jig rolling over it. Didn't even know they had rock piles in Smithville Lake, but I guess they do. Oh, in the brush pile again. Please come out of the brush pile. There it goes. All right, we're gonna go find some more brush piles since we can't catch any fish out of this one. So now we're gonna try to find some brush piles without any coordinates. I know a lot of popular places to sink brush piles are on these ledges right here. This goes from 3 feet all the way to 40 feet. If you look at some of the other ones that are on the that we already graphed over, these three in a rock pile are on a point. These right here are also on a point, secondary point. These right here, for you guys that fish really deep ledges, there's one on the point and they're about 30 feet, and then it goes down into 53 feet right there. A lot of times they're just in the middle of the coves, more towards the back for pre-spawning fish. You know, it helps them stage up right before they spawn in the back of coves. Another spot they really like to put brush piles are at the end of docks or at the end of marinas, so that people that publicly fish can just go off the dock and fish, or if they own a lake house, they can, instead of taking out their boat, they can just sit there and catch crappie all day long, or even some largemouth bass. So like I said, we're gonna go on a ledge right here that goes from 30 feet to 5 feet. It's kind of more like a bluff almost, and we're just gonna scan. Oh, that's not what I wanted. Oh, we're coming up on a brush pile right there. Looks like a huge brush pile. Oh my gosh. Create a waypoint, back it up. Let's not run into the shoreline. Oh, we're coming up on another one. Looks like a smaller brush pile, about a third of the size. You can see the size difference. That one's huge and that one's really small. Click over it. Create new waypoint, back. That might be a brush pile right there. Oh, hold on, we're coming up on something else. Looks like some rock. Bunch of rock in here. Oh wow. Sit there. Like that. Look at all this rock. Waypoint. Waypoint. Oh my gosh, it's everywhere. Waypoint. Oh, there's people right there. I feel really bad. Sorry, people. Looks like there's another brush pile right there on this ledge right here. Up. Goes there. And yeah, that's how you find brush piles without any previous waypoints. So we're gonna go see if we can find those couple brush piles that I marked on the side imaging. I think there's that little one right in front of us, right there. Oh, I just went over it. I'm in it. Oh, please come out of it. Oh, see my jig coming up. Sometimes you can see the fish come up and actually hit your lure. It's really cool. But we'll see if we can go back in that brush pile again. That little tiny brush pile right there. Oh, there's that little brush pile again. Super small. I'm surprised I hit it with this jig. Looks like there's a fish on the screen too. I don't know why he'd be suspended so high up though. Alright, let's move to the bigger brush pile that's behind us. There's the brush pile right there. We're on top of it, guys. You don't want to be on top of the brush pile. It doesn't work like that. That is a huge brush pile. I couldn't tell what it was because it's so big. I thought it was part of the ground. There we go. I'm in it now. That was confusing. Well, yeah, that's what a massive brush pile looks like. Ooh, coming through it like crazy. Oh, lost it on the Panoptix. It's to the right of it. It's just flat ground. Go left just a tad bit. There it is. Go left. Oh, there's even more. It's kind of like behind us. So the arrow is actually pointing this way. So it's about right. It's about right there. It's not very far off. I kind of ran it over. Rookie mistake. And let's move to another brush pile. Alright guys, we're coming up on 3 more brush pile markings. You can tell it's in the middle of a cove in that pre-spawn transition area where it goes from 43 foot all the way up to, what is that, 19-ish. And let's see if we can find some more brush piles. Oh, there's some right there. Let's see them right there. Oh, there's some more right there. Bunch of them. You can see them on the down scan as well. Oh wow. We're gonna go through, click on that. Mark there. Mark there. Mark there. Run into the thing over there. Mark there. Oh, that was sweet. Now all these points were pretty accurate. That's within 30 feet, so it was pretty easy to find these brush piles. Let's see if we can find them on the GARMIN Panoptix. So the best way I've found to actually find the brush piles on the Panoptix is to do kind of like a 180 with the Panoptix. So I'm going to start from the right. I'm going to scan to the left. Oh, it looks like there's something in 60 feet away. Oh, that's a brush pile. Looks like there's one underneath of us as well. Oh yeah, there's definitely one underneath of us. That's a complete 180. Looks like we kind of fell on top of that one. And that's how I really like to scan. I'll go left to right. There's one right there. I'll go pretty slow though. Then I'll go right to left. Looks like we're still on top of that one. 60 feet, 50, 60 feet away. Then all the way to my left. There's nothing, flat bottom. Directly behind us. See how there's kind of an angle? That angle is telling you it's getting shallower behind us. And eventually it'll hit a dead stop. And that means that that's shore. So we're going to take a cast out. Oh, a minute finally. And as soon as I get in it, get stuck in it. Gross. There's another brush pile. Looks like it's pretty scattered out. Oh. So when I go right to left, you can see kind of chunk bits and pieces of this brush pile that's spread apart. And I go left just a little bit, and it's a little bit off screen right there. I think I'm in it actually too. And there's the rest of it right there. And I'm in it right now with my jig. Oh, maybe I wasn't in it. He had me hung up on it. Oh no, I'm still in it. Oh, I'm really in it. I'm in all the scattered pieces right now. We're gonna go right down the juice again. Too far. Oh, I must be in the thick part of it now because I keep jigging up and down into it. It's not just rolling over the branches anymore. I just came out of it. And I think we're gonna stop there, because that's a lot of brush piles. I'm sure you guys already stopped watching by now because we can't catch any fish. Thank you for tuning in to Bearcat Fishing. I hope you guys enjoyed trying to find some brush piles today with the GARMIN Panoptix and some side imaging. I know I didn't go over every single little feature on these Garmin units, but that's all right. I just wanted to give you guys a general idea of what it can do. Please like, comment, and subscribe. We'll catch you next time on Bearcat Fishing.